Hello there, and welcome to my third review. If you're wondering why I'm a bit late on this new video, is that I tried recording this last week on Sunday because I was busy on Saturday. On Sunday, I tried recording it, I got to the end, and for some reason my phone decided to restart, meaning that I lost all the footage. And I got angry, so I didn't record it again. So I'm doing it again. And as with before, all my movies, you should know if you've watched the previous video. So today's one is Avengers. Well, Avengers Infinity War, rather. Avengers Infinity War was a fucking amazing film. And this came out on the 26th of April 2018, and I saw it on release date. But this was my second watch that I watched in Cambridge, because I wanted to watch it again, so I did, like, a few months later. That's why it says on the date. I really liked this film. This film was amazing. Like, when this came out, this was my favourite film, because there was no other film that, like, could match it, arguably. Like, there are other films now that I'd argue are better, but it is still in my top 5, like, best films of all time. This is obviously a Marvel film, meaning that it has a lot of Marvel characters and a large cast, as in, like, the main ones, so Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, etc. Then it had, like, the side characters, so Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P., we miss you, Wakanda forever. There's also Tom Holland, who's amazing in this film. Benedict Cumberbatch, amazing in this film. There's a load of side characters. There's just so many people. But the main person who I thought was, like, stood out in this film was Josh Brolin. And Josh Brolin in this film he deserved an Oscar for this film. Everybody says that with Endgame, Robert Downey Jr. deserved an Oscar. For this film, however, I think Josh Brolin should have been nominated for at least Best Supporting Actor, because he was phenomenal in this film. Because Thanos has been, like, a smaller character in the other films, and he was alright. Like, he was only in a scene. He was only in, like, small scenes. But in this, he was just front and centre. And he was brilliant. This was directed by the Russo brothers, who previously did Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, and then the two Avengers films, the Infinity War and Endgame. And I believe they're doing another one, but I'm not entirely sure which one that will be. And with this film, the directing was just off the scale. It was just amazing. And obviously Kevin Feige produced it as well, and the production side of it was also good, because they had to film this and Endgame back to back, so so there wasn't any spoilers leaked. Well, there was some spoilers leaked. Like, we saw some stuff set in Scotland which proved that the Children of Thanos was going to be in it. Because I remember I got so excited about that, because it was in all the newspapers. The plot of this film is, well, it's not complicated. It's a collectathon, but it's a good collectathon. As in, there are like 6 McGubbins. Thanos has one of the McGubbins. The McGubbins are the Infinity Stones, but, like, just the standard movie collecting thing. So Thanos already has one, because he killed Xandar. He, like, just killed it, like, dead. Like, Glenn Close no longer is alive. Because, yeah. The film starts with Loki pretending to give the Tesseract to him and then betrays him, but then Loki gets killed. And then Thanos gets the Blue Infinity Stone, then casts Thor and Hulk out into space. And then Thanos goes to Earth, tries to collect the stone there. Actually, no, Thanos never actually lands on Earth. He gets the children on Earth. And then he goes off to try and find the purple one. He goes to nowhere, and he succeeds in getting that. He also gets the red one there, the reality stone. He gets that there. He also gets the It gets the Eye Agamotto at the end with Doctor Strange doing the, oh yes, here is the thing, but this is the only way it could happen, and Iron Man's angry. And, spoilers, everyone dies. Well, half of everyone dies. But, yeah, it's kind of obvious now, it's been 2 years. Nearly 3. I'm getting old. And, so, like, Thanos goes to collect them. The Avengers try to stop them. Steve and Iron Man, they don't technically meet, but they kind of help each other in different areas, because there's like 3 battle areas. And then Thanos wins. Thanos, like, the final stone he gets is Vision, because because Wanda doesn't want him to die, and Vision's like, no, you're the only one who can get rid of it. You have to destroy it before Thanos can get to it. So, but in doing so, she would kill Vision. So she takes it out, he dies, and then Thanos comes in with the Eye of Agamotto, the green one, Time Stone, and reverses time, so he's back alive, and then rips it, like proper fucking, like rips it off, and then Vision falls to the floor dead with grey, and he's grey and white, which is the colours that he is in the comics when he comes back, so I think he's still alive somehow. And as this film ends, Thanos does his little tooshy. He killed his daughter as well to get the Soul Stone, because we had no idea where that was, and so he kills his daughter to get it, because Red Skull told him to, because Red Skull's back. Woo! But Hugo Weaving wasn't in it, because he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to go back into the film, because he didn't like what Marvel was doing. Like, he didn't like the atmosphere within the thing. I'll talk more about the death later on. The music was mainly done by Alan Silvestri or Silvestri or whatever. He's like just been doing a lot of music for film for quite a bit of time. I think he might become the next Hans Zimmer, arguably. And one of the most notable song really is was it Rubber Band Man? I think it's called. Which is the song that's playing when you first see the Guardians of the Galaxy before Thor smashes into the window. Yeah, the music throughout this film was amazing. Like, whenever Thanos was on screen, and especially the final scene when Thanos is sat down, and it's the somber music, and he's like da da da. Do, 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 and then Thanos smiles, and then dum. It's just and done, and then the credits. I thought the use of music was like really worked in this film. Then you had the box office for this film, $2.048 billion US. That's a fuck ton of money. Well, the budget was $360 million US, so it very exceeded that quite a bit. And even that budget is one of the most expensive films ever made, and they made probably 6-7 times the amount of money that they put into this. And it was just it just had a lot of money things. It just earned a lot of money because everybody went to see it, even though it did come out late in China, I think. Because I believe we got Infinity War. We got Infinity War and Endgame, which I like. I'm from Britain, as you can tell by my posh voice, because for some reason videos make me sound posh. In England, we got this from we got this in we got this on the 26th, whereas American people, I think, and China, I think they both got it on the China got on the 25th, we got the 26th, and America got the 27th, and then that was the same rough estimate for what happened with Endgame, in that China got it, then we got it, then America. Even though it was an American film, which I always found confusing. It was like, okay, I mean, thank you, we get to see we get to see the film before you, which is rare. Normally we get it a week after American audiences, because probably by now they've already seen the Bill and Ted film. I mean, that's out. That was like yesterday, wasn't it? I don't know if it was released universally. Probably was. So yeah, the box office. Now, the awards. It won a few awards. It won Oscar for Best Visual Effects, and as I said before, it should have won Thanos should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Teen Kids Choice Awards, most of the actors got them. So Robert Downey Jr. got a few, Scarlett Johansson got a few, I think Chris Evans got a few, Chris Hemsworth, like, the main actors. I don't think any of the small actors did, really. Well, the hype for this movie. Now, hype is, well, for Marvel films, I have a lot of hype, and having a lot of hype is actually good for some films, because it allows it to get noticed. So it's like Great Showman, as I've said before, like, not many people know the story, and the hype around that film eventually grew and grew and grew. And that's why it became more popular, even though it was controversial. Watch my previous video for that. But yeah, this hype was good because they very rarely showed any trailers. The trailers they showed were very blasé. They didn't include that much, so they didn't spoil anything because they wanted to keep the cards close to the chest. It's like, however, the Spider-Man the Spider-Man trailer after Endgame, that spoiled a lot. I think that was released, I think, a week or so after Endgame came out, I think, and it spoiled Iron Man's death. Spoilers again. But, like, the first scene is, like, Spider-Man going, ooh, I'm so sad. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. And, it just spoiled the whole thing. And it's like, okay, thank you, trailer. The people who can't watch it until a week later. Grr. I'm going to say grr a lot, I think. I think that's how I'll get angry. I'll just go grr. So, the experience of the film, like, in my cinema, it was amazing in terms of, like, well, the first time I watched it and the second. The first time was, like, everyone was just silent. We were just watching the film. People laughed. People cried. It was like what you expect from a film of such good quality. And the second time, there was less people in the room because it was a smaller room, but it did feel the same. However, some reviewers didn't like this film because they argued that the film relied on you have to watch the other films to watch this film, and I'm like, yes, but it's like if you watched Harry Potter 7 without watching Harry Potter 1, why would you? Why is that any different? Like, how come? It's called foreshadowing and setting up. You're allowed to do that. It's a new thing. The MCU is the start of this in terms, like, it was the start of, like, a film having an after credit scene which led into another film. So, like, Iron Man, the after credit scene for the first Iron Man was to set up the Avengers Initiative and introducing Nick Fury, and that's all it was. But it annoys me when they're like, oh yeah, you have to watch the others to watch this. I'm like, yes, you can. However, even if you still watch this film and you have no idea what's going on, you can still enjoy it. Because I started becoming a Marvel fan. Like, I watched Guardians of the Galaxy, but I didn't realise it was like a Marvel thing. I just watched it because it was good and I enjoyed it. But I wasn't obsessed with Marvel until I watched Captain America Civil War. I had no idea what was going on, but I thought this looks amazing. So me and my friend just decided, right, we're going to binge the other Marvel movies before Guardians of the Galaxy 2 comes out, because we missed Doctor Strange because we were just catching up. But we did watch that eventually. I'll talk about that later. Reviews do annoy me sometimes. I might do a video on just how bad that reviewers are, because they are bad sometimes. Anyway, the runtime for this film was 149 minutes, which was 2 hours and 29 minutes, which is a serviceable Marvel film. I think it was the longest Marvel film at that time, and it was good. I enjoyed the experience of it, and it didn't feel too long. It was well paced. Like, you had the start, which was like more jokey. Like, you had more jokes in the first part than the second part. But, like, the first part was setting up story, and the beginning bit was paced well, with Heimdall and Loki dying. Loki was at his best. Tom Hiddleston, please come back. Well, I know you're in that new TV series, but release it on DVD, because I don't want to pay Disney Plus. It's too much money. Deaths. Right, death. Right. Half the whole point of the snap is that Thanos wanted to. Well, in the comics, it's because he wanted to impress Lady Death, because he was flirty, and he wanted to kill half the people off to please her, so he could be with her. In this film, it's just because he wants to. It's because he wants balance, and he wants enough money to be able to do that, and that's fine. He wants half the people that resources are fine, but there is some contention with that, and yeah, so he kills off half the universe, and so a lot of the Avengers, the main 6 Avengers, are fine. Hawkeye isn't in this film, but Black Widow is fine. Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, and Black Widow, they're all fine. Then, Captain Marvel didn't exist. Well, she existed, but they were filming it. She was fine. And, the snap. But, yeah, so... And then you had, a couple of other people, like Shuri and Rhodey and Ant-Man, because of the events in his film. And... the people who died, you had, Black Panther dying with the really poignant line of, this is no place to die, before he, where he sets Shuri down before he disappears. Or is it Okoye? I think it's Okoye. Yeah. Okoye survives as well. And then you have, Doctor Strange, he goes, Spider-Man, the most emotional thing, and it was improvised because Tom Holland wanted to have it improvised because he tended to spoil things, so they didn't want to give him a script, so they were this is one of the many endings for your character, so pretend to die, and so he did. And you had other, Groot died, and supposedly he called Rocket father. Star-Lord disappeared. Gamora died because of the Soul Stone thing, as I said before. Nebula survived, and yeah, there's a lot of people who did die. And, yeah, the villain, as I've said before, Thanos had good parts and bad parts, and that his motivations made sense. But kind of, yeah. And as I've said before, the acting out of everybody was really good, and I'd argue that. Because everybody says, the acting's alright, but it's not Oscar-worthy. Sometimes the acting can be Oscar-worthy. In the third Iron Man film, it's a character piece. So, and Robert Downey Jr. does that well. I think he should have been nominated for an Oscar. I know everybody hates Iron Man 3 because of the story and it's not very good, but I like the film. And it's actually a character piece, and so it's quite good. And then they kind of break it due to Age of Ultron. I think that's all I have to talk about for this film. I have hardly any negatives of it, apart from, nothing. Yeah, this is it for this. So, I thank you for joining, and next time, just put this down. Next time, if I remember rightly, I will be discussing, I shall be discussing the documentary of They Shall Not Grow Old, which was a documentary about World War One, which was done by Peter Jackson, the guy who did Lord of the Rings. And I was able to see it in the cinema, and because it was a one-time thing in the cinema, and then they put it on BBC Two, I think. And we got to see it in the cinema, and there was also a Q&A thing afterwards where this reviewer talked to Peter Jackson. It was a live showing, and that was very good. But that's for next time. And if you like my videos, please watch my other ones, but you don't have to. I'm very self-deprecating, so just get used to it. It's fine. This is it. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.